looks like our special guests have finally arrived. Let's give them a round of applause. Welcome, Ulysses S. Burns and Robert E. Lee. Please have a seat, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us, Miss Keeper. It really is an honor.
Oh, it certainly is much more of an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for traveling 153 years to be with us. It is certainly a hike.
Anytime, really. Wow, you really sure let the place rot. What'd you do? Feed the turtles plastic?
Okay, let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about the first battle that put you two head-to-head for the very first time. What was it called? The Battle of...
The Wilderness. The Battle of the Wilderness. Yep, suppose that's the one.
Please, spill the tea.
You want to recreate the Boston Tea Party? I don't think Britain would be very happy about that.
Oh, sorry. Tell us what happened, please.
Well, first of all, I won. Not true. Well, statistically. Fine. It was inconclusive. Wrongly inconclusive, because obviously I won. Not true.
Okay, let's take a step back here. How about I lead the conversations, yeah? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Where and when did this all start? Robert, share with me your perspective on the battle.
Sure, on May 2nd, I was watching the Union Army on a hill and began planning the attack. Then I went to bed and woke up to a message. They were on the move. I didn't get much sleep after that. I was terribly paranoid. I had no idea what was going to happen. Sneaky. Shut up, Karen. I ended up consulting with Jefferson Davis to see what I should do, which was ready the troops for battle. As more information became flowing in through the 4th, I had clear sights back on the Union Army, and I thought it was a good idea of what was going on, but, well... And that's the tea, sis.
Good one. Ulysses, would you please share your experience with me?
It was May 5th when Richard Ewell and his corps ran into my 5th Corps near the Orange Turnpike, the region's principal east-west road. It was a crazy morning. The fighting was fierce and chaotic, as the trees and thick undergrowth made it difficult in the orderly fashion and navigate effect for both cavalry and artillery, but luckily I knew how to handle it. He's right. I had a huge advantage of having more troops, about double what Lee over there had, but he knew the terrain. He knew how to fight in the trees, and I didn't.
So what were the numbers, size-wise, of your armies?
115,000. 65,000.
And the casualties?
17,500. Here's the predicament, little Grant boy. We had 7,000. 10,000 lives less.
Do you have any response to that?
I mean, numbers can always go wrong, but they weren't! Well, we were talking on offensive stand, our first major movement towards your capital. And don't make me remind you how it all ended anyway.
Why don't we stay on track here?
Okay, well, I was originally planning to march quickly through the wilderness and slip behind Tree's right wing, which ended up not happening because little Robert over there was using his noggin that day, unfortunately. Okay, now that was pretty rude. Nobody cares, Lee. Anyway, even though we had more soldiers, we struggled to fight in the very wooded, unfamiliar area that the Confederacy was used to. We fought until dark, then called it an inclusive day. I was going to attack again at 4 a.m. the next morning, but I was pushed back until 5 a.m. by Meade, so that the corps commanders could get themselves back together. So, at about that time, Union member Winfred Scott Hancock attacked along the Plank Road, advancing in the battle line more than a mile long. The Federals were able to drive back A.P. Hill's Confederates nearly a mile. This was a huge victory for us. Well, you know what they say. Don't take your small victories for granted.
So what was going on in your head that morning, Mr. Lee?
Well, when I heard, I decided not to go with Ewell, but instead joined Hill's column. When I arrived at the scene and panicked, I gave some orders that were significantly different than the ones I had placed just a few hours before, which could have been my downfall, but thankfully it wasn't. I ended up deciding to launch a counterattack on Grant, which almost pushed him to surrender.
You say almost. Ulysses, what kept you fighting?
My pride for my country. You wouldn't know what's good for your country if it hit you in the face. Take that back! I'll do no such thing. You little!
Okay, let's keep this family friendly for the audience, please. And my income. Moving on. When did it all end?
About 7 a.m., May 7th. Once again, inconclusively. You just had to throw that in, didn't ya? I was surprised he didn't retreat. So were my guys, especially after all the loss. What can I say? The battle was closer to the end of the war, which we of course didn't know at the time, but I wasn't about to back down when we did do damage to you as well. Well, I didn't have a whole lot of tactical control on the defense. You had that going for you. Standing my ground was a good decision on my part. If I could have done things differently, I would have attacked you on May 2nd, when I was looking down at you. Then I could have avoided the whole thing and probably would have won. With those numbers? Please! I wish I would have just attacked you right away that night. Then you wouldn't have gotten a chance to talk to Jefferson Davis. Hey, this man knows how to use his resources.
I mean, I would just time travel here and grab some of our new gadgets and bring them back for your soldiers, you know. Bombs, machine guns, tanks.
So you think we're outdated then?
Well, no, but...
Don't talk to her like that.
All right.
Hey, Lee, who rode a dog and was Confederate general during the American Civil War? Robert E. Lee.
Oh, this sure has been fun.
Hey, Ulysses, your voice is so tiny. It might as well call you Ulysses S. Ant. You did it! Oh, yes, I did.
All right, folks, that's enough for today. Let's give our guests a round of applause.